There's this nervousness coming to the festival every year that you just can't get over.
Standing behind the pulpit is a feeling like no other. It's both with fear and trembling. You're excited and embarrassed. You're confident but ashamed. It's just a mixture of feelings and wondering, how is this going to happen?
I get nervous beforehand that my sermon's not good enough.
And for me, when I approach the podium, I'm wondering what is going to be my first word out of my mouth. But somehow, in the middle of speaking and addressing the congregation, this huge boost of confidence and assurance that God has me and God is speaking comes across.
I'm not great at public speaking, but it's really good when you look out and you get to see people who are connecting with it, and you realize that people are understanding God's word and that it's making sense to them, and that's the best part about it.
Preaching is a socially significant vocation. You want to change the world? They weren't convinced that the pulpit was a place from which that could be done. I've thought about starting a young academy for preachers.
The Academy of Preachers is relevant because we, as the young prophetic voices, also need encouragement. We need to know that there are other people that are passionate about the same things that we're passionate about, preaching the gospel, preaching the word.
You know, this is specifically about people who are called to preach, and everyone has the same drive, and I think that when you get that, everyone kind of pushes each other a little bit and makes each other better.
How can you take your gifts and your calling? What can you do to help make the world better? How can you use your skill? This is what preachers do. They stand up every day and talk to people like you and say, you bear the image of God.
This world needs us, but we'll only find that message and find that power if we're really willing to go there, if we're really willing to unite around the way of Jesus. And it's not an easy way, but it's a way that we have to keep testifying to, because it is the way that brings freedom, and it is the way that brings love, and it is the way that brings peace. That's what will heal our world.
The people in the pews want better preaching. The denominational and church leaders want better preaching. So this is what drives a great deal of the interest in what we're doing. How can we inspire talented young people to consider preaching as a vocation? How can we take the young people who are already being trained for ministry and sharpen their skills and give them role models and open doors of opportunity?
The freedom to try new things was so important to my development as a preacher, and it has given me a lot of confidence to just speak the word as God has shown me to speak it, whatever form that takes.
This is our third festival. We're here for 4 days of preaching. We have 120 young people who've come from 30 states and 30 denominations.
Lutherans, Presbyterians, Baptists, Catholics, non-denominational, and the beautiful part is everybody is welcomed and everyone is happy to be here.
I love the energy that these young people bring. I love the support that they give to one another.
I think that's one of the greatest things a Christian can learn, is to be open-minded and be receptive and loving to other faiths and other traditions.
There's a lot of sermons that I hear that don't sound anything like sermons that I hear at my home church, but it's always really, really interesting to get that different perspective.
It is a blessing to be part of an organization that brings people together from all kinds of faith communities, from all over the country, and in fact from all over the world.
To have the gospel as the common ground is awesome. To be able to come together from all walks of life and preach the same text, it's phenomenal. You get pieces of the gospel that you've never, ever experienced that way. It certainly has made me not just a better preacher, but a better person in learning the human condition in preaching and learning that we all have stories behind what we're preaching. We all have been through some things. We all are looking to go somewhere. We're still taking time to proclaim what God has given us in whatever our private time was.
The Academy of Preachers is important because so many young people don't have a place and a space where they are allowed for their voice to be heard.
It's an opportunity for you to be a person of inspiration and influence to a broad range of your peers in a way that you have never had the opportunity before.
This allows you to test the waters, hear your voice without being compared to your pastor or your mentor. What is God saying to you, to this generation today? So this space is needed, very much so.